video today is brought to you by the G Group. Contact Eli Godinez with any questions, or if you like to see what your current home is worth today, the G Group is here to help. Man, the response has been good, bro.
That's good.
It's been stirring the fire up, getting me more motivated and more excited about the calling.
Yeah.
I was a little nervous that first week. Even this week, when we released the first episode, I was like, bro, I don't know, man. I think we need to skip over the first one.
Man, it's crazy because it seems like the devil wants to just get you not to start, you know?
Bro.
He just want to hinder it, because if he stops you from starting, then you don't even see what God is really trying to do.
Bro, he definitely, let me say it like this, because I'm not going to give the devil all the credit. Because I know God been allowing a lot of the stuff that's been going on because he knows my faith is going to stay intact. So I think that's something we got to start believing for and stop giving the enemy too much credit for the chaos, because God will allow a lot of things in our life, knowing that we won't waver, knowing that we won't throw in the towel, knowing that he's still going to get all the glory.
Amen.
And having a support system like this, family and friends, encouraging me, it just makes it even better. Because he been trying to take away my voice ever since we started. Even Panda knows this. When we were trying to do the promo video, everything had just been happening. But we here now, baby. Episode 3. We about to get to it tonight and go a little deeper. I wanted to talk about me and you, bro. I think it's time to let people know like how this all came together.
Okay.
And just how you and I connected, man. Let's just get them a little playback of how that went down. I know my wife had a lot to do with it. Yeah. But this happened. You know it was God, how it happened.
Absolutely.
Wasn't telling what you had going on. So I think it was, November?
Was it November? It may have been November. Like
I
late
think it was November.
Like right before November, right before Thanksgiving. I had been going to the church, and your wife, she deals with the kids. So we were having a small talk about my crazy daughter and how she's doing better, because when we first started, she was freaking out. Yeah. And your wife was just bragging about you. I was like, man, this guy's amazing. It's like, what? He's over the men's department. He does this. He does all this stuff. I was like, wow, he must be incredible. I have to meet him.
Just a servant leader, bro. Just serving, bro.
Hey, well, she hypes you up, man. Yeah. Hey, shout out to your wife, man. Shout her out.
Yeah, babe. Hey, babe, what's up? Nah, man, I remember when she brought you to me, and I don't know, I was in like a middle of a conversation or something, right? And you walk up, I'm like, what's up? I had like a look on my face. You was almost like, what's up? You got your baby, juggling your baby, trying to dap up and stuff. And I didn't really give you nothing. It was almost like I was being
dismissive. No, I was like, yo, you know what? We ain't going to this park. Like she's over here bragging about how dope this dude is. He ain't even looking me in my eye. He's just like, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
He's like, oh, you the one? No, because you thought it was somebody else.
Yeah, I did. I thought because they've been trying to get me to meet somebody else, and I was like, oh, I guess this the dude. Yeah. And then when you said you wasn't the dude, I was like, oh, I ain't trying to hear nothing.
Yeah.
I like look off. I'm like looking over, like, whatever.
Yeah. I was like, what is this? So so y'all were having an event that day.
Yeah.
Like a family event or something like that.
It was a marriage. We was at the park. We had a marriage event, and you came out. I was surprised y'all came.
I almost didn't come. It was too cold, and the vibe I got from you, I was like, nah.
Yeah. Bro.
Like, she's hyping this dude up.
Bro, you came, bro. We just rock. Like from the start. You saw that we had the same interest, and you, bro, it was like you could read my mind, I could read your mind. We was just it just became super organic. And then I don't think I didn't really talk much about me trying to do a podcast. I kind of just threw it out there.
That was at the end, yeah.
Yeah, it was like at the end, and you came back. You followed up with me, and you were like, bro, so what was you saying about doing a podcast? And I was like, yeah, I'm trying to get it going, but I'm doing this podcast course and I'm at a part of it I'm just not feeling because it got corny, you know, and I'm like, yo, I ain't trying to look like everybody. Like, this ain't me. And I was kind of at a standstill where I was waiting. I was waiting for God to really kind of show me a sign or bring the right person in front of me. And I was going to be patient. I wasn't going to try to get ahead of him. I was just going to be like, why can't I move forward with this? Like, something's not sitting right in my spirit. Mm-hmm. And you brought it up like, bro, I do video editing and I can help you out with that. And I was like, I said, all right, I'm gonna give you a chance. Like, let's do it. Let's record the first episode. Yeah. I already had all this stuff. I had everything just sitting here. Yeah. And you came through and you saw what I had and you was like, dang, bro, you like ready to go. I was like,
for real. Yeah, because I do podcasting. So I do what a lot of people who are doing podcasting, and they have the bare minimum. They have like a webcam, a horrible mic that sounds bad, and like an office. So just to see your setup, I was like, you're serious about it. So I love that.
Yeah, nah, I was dead serious, man. Me and my wife, we knew we was going to make an investment and, use our savings and, and see what happened with that. And, bro, we've been rocking. Like, it's like I'll tell you one thing, show you something, like you get it right away. I don't have to elaborate or try to, it's not a tug of war with me and you. And so that's been pretty dope. But it's funny because it almost didn't come to conception if it wasn't for my boy Eli. I want Eli real quick. Get on the mic real quick and tell him about that.
Oh man, spit some bars too.
Tell him how you came at me.
What was it? I think it was our first. We had gotten the group.
Wait, hold up. Together. Let's do this. By the way, guys, this is Eli Godinez. He's the sponsor. He's the realtor, the guy that I give y'all the information about. This is his voice.
Yeah, thank you for that introduction. Yeah. Really appreciate it. So I think you had that vision on your heart, got the guys together, and it was interesting because for me, I think all of you guys had kind of known each other a little bit to an extent. Yeah. So I was sitting there from the, I guess, perspective, like just trying to feel everybody out. Yeah. And you were talking about this podcast, and I remember it. You were sitting across from me, had your hands on the table, and then the next thing kind of bounced to someone else, and they were talking about stuff that whatever they were talking about, I don't remember, but I was looking at you and I thought, I think I cut the other person off and said, what's keeping you from this podcast? And then I just remember it like it was yesterday. You had your hands here and then you went back and looked up and you're like, honestly, me. I guess it's just me keeping myself from it. Because I think what I saw in you, I mean, we see you at the church and getting it from it, but I saw the skill set. I saw the ability. I saw the passion that you have for that kind of stuff. So, and to see you here in front of me now and all this, it's cool for me too. I can't imagine how it is for you, but it's cool for me as well to see this.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate that, man. It was definitely you asking that question, and I saw how serious you were. I thought you was asking me in like a joking way, but when we looked at each other, I was like, oh, he for real.
Sometimes that's how it is. You know what I mean? Like, I think the enemy can get us on almost like a hamster wheel. And actually, after that meeting that we had with all the guys, I do remember a phone call that you gave me maybe a couple weeks after, a month after. And you said, you know what, man, I'm really getting serious about this thing. And I think it was that time when I said, you know what, bro, like game planning and planning things out, that's important, but sometimes you just got to shoot, and you can't be trigger shy with this kind of stuff because the enemy likes to use, it's like a hamster in a wheel. He wants you planning all the time because he doesn't want you to start it up. He doesn't want you to take that first step. So, but with this kind of stuff, man, you just got to shoot. There ain't no safety on this Glock. You just got to shoot and start popping off and let God do his thing,
Oh, yeah. Amen. And that's how I took it, man. I said, man, I ain't got time for this. Excuses, if you want one, you'll find one.
Oh, yeah.
And it's unfortunately for most people, the setback is you. Just being real. Folks always talking about they'll come up with like, hey man, what happened to that business plan or that idea you had last year? Oh, I had a setback. You follow up with them again. I had a setback. It's like, well, what's the problem? Well, this and this happened, and you just, bro, you the setback. You the problem.
Yeah.
Like, you the one that's holding yourself back. You the one that's missing out on your blessing because of how you are afraid to just jump in the water, talking about it's too cold. Mm-hmm. All right, bro, you're going to forever be tipping your toes and waiting while everybody diving in.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
like you and Luke were just saying, we give the enemy too much credit. Sometimes most of the time, it's us, man. It's God already laid it out for us. It's already set before the foundations of the earth, man. This is something that's already been done. Yeah. So we just stop ourselves from pursuing it. Facts,
man. Facts. You know? I appreciate you, man, sharing that.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. It's so cool to see this.
Cool. Yeah, man. That's it's been good. I just wanted to give the people a little bit of backstory with a lot of this, man, and just let them know like this hasn't been easy, but it's definitely been refreshing to see the fruit that's coming from obedience. Mm-hmm. And I think it's in the obedience that can, you can definitely see God's hand. I believe that when he says faith without works are dead, it's not that we need we need the works to receive our salvation or to be with him. He just want to see if you really believe what you asking for. And are you really to wash feet how I wash feet? This I'm going to give y'all an example. We'll pray for God to give us this and give us that. And so, okay, I'm going to give it to you, but I'm going to open up this door where you got to clean toilets first. No, I don't want that. Okay, I'm going to give you another one. Okay, work at a restaurant. No, God, I'm supposed to have this. It's like, you don't get that in the waiting for the blessing, there's a type of character building that needs to happen. Mm-hmm. I can't just give you the whole blessing right up front because you're not ready for it. You're not ready for everything that's going to come with that. You're not ready for the responsibility that's going to come with this. Mm-hmm. So I need to develop your character. I need to build up your posture so when you get this blessing, you're able to thrive. You're able to flourish in the hard times. You're not going to get discouraged. And that's what a lot of the younger generation do not get. They do not get, they getting caught up in this name it, claim it, speaking into existence type of theology, and that's not in the gospel. Because if you could manifest your what you want, if you really could speak it into existence, then why hasn't it happened yet? Let's keep it a buck. Yeah. A specific thing that you're thinking about that you want to pray to God for, Lord, I'm gonna keep speaking, I'm gonna keep making it happen, and you just sitting around and doing nothing.
Yep.
Man, I've been praying for this for about a year and a half now. It still ain't happening. What you been doing for a year? What you been doing for a month, for weeks, days? We're just waiting on God. Man, you missed the whole point of works. Can you really get out of yourself? Get away from this entitled, selfish, I'm supposed to have this because I did this mentality. That's not how this works, man. Yeah. And that's the frustration part with young people today for me. When I'm talking to them, even dealing with it right now, and they don't even know how to communicate these feelings. They don't even know how to communicate why they not seeing God's hand work in their life, why they're not seeing the whole blessing. And it's, bruh.
It's one of those things where I feel like on the flip side, even the older generations, they were once young and they got kind of scarred, It didn't happen, so now they're kind of bitter. Now they're older, and now they're just completely just accepting the worst,
Right, let's talk about that too, because me and my sister, we had a talk the other day, and if you think about, let's talk about the older people that have giftings. that they're just sitting on, but they still want to speak with a wisdom that, let's say God giving them a wisdom, but ain't no fruit in their life. Ain't none of it. And it's like you still bitter, you're still selfish, you're still entitled because you felt like God didn't answer your prayer when you didn't really believe in him in the first place.
Yeah.
You just believe in what sound good to have a conversation, to talk about him, and to be cool within the conversation, to be like, okay, yeah, I believe in God. I can exist in this conversation, but when you walk away, you really ain't with him.
Wow.
You don't believe in him unless he gives you something. You don't even know what having peace feels like. So you're stuck in your anxiety. You stuck in looking for celebrity idols to give you some type of wisdom that they come up with how they got their riches so you can feel better about yourself. But you haven't really just stood in the fire, accepted what God has given you, and just trusted him for what he want to do with your life. Because you keep looking at everybody else and projecting, why haven't I had this? Why haven't I got this? Why? And it's like, well, why won't you do? Why won't you do? Like, why is it taking you this long for you to get to where you need to get?
Yep.
And you really don't believe, man.
It's crazy because there's a lot of saints who have been in church forever, so they haven't been doing the major sins, but they've been holding grudges against God since the 90s, since the 80s, you know, because of stuff that didn't work out, you know.
Yeah, facts. That's facts, man. Like, let's just keep it a buck. It's things that happen in their childhood that they hold against God.
Yep.
You know, and that's something that I realize is it's easy to blame him. It's easy.
Yeah.
Because you first off, you can't see him.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And second, you got to deflect your responsibility at some point. Because yes, things happen in your childhood that you can't control, but at some point, you get to an adult age where you can make decisions and you realize, do I stay the course of these hurts, of these traumas, or do I learn how to deal with what's happened to me? Do I learn, or do I humble myself to seek wise counsel, counseling anybody, to deal with the hurts and the issues that's happened to me so that I can help other people not go through the same thing. But, bro, you know how many people sitting on powerful testimonies?
Yeah.
How many addicts, I'm talking about older people. Like, it's so many people sitting on stuff that they refuse to share. They don't even want to talk about it because they're still living in shame.
And the craziest part is we can do two things. We can either blame God or we can give it to God. And we don't even want to give it to God. We just want to harbor it. We want to point the finger at God and be mad at him, but he wants to take it anyways. But he just wants your heart to be in the right place when he takes it from you.
Cast your burdens on me.
Exactly.
You know why? Because I can take it. I'm the one that can actually, take what you're dealing with, give you some peace. And now you're going to be able to wake up refreshed and able to walk the walk now. But people want to hold on to these things because they need an excuse for not having.
Exactly. Man, say that again,
Bro,
man, for real.
They want to hold on to the issues, to the hurt, to the pain, to the shame, to the guilt, because they need an excuse for why they have not.
Yeah. I've been there before.
Call a spade a spade. A spade a spade. You know
that's real, man. That's so real because it's so easy. It's easy to justify, okay, I'm not excelling because I'm still addicted to this thing. But you're afraid that if you do get rid of the addiction and you don't excel, you don't know what the reason is. You're afraid of that. So you want to hold on to something that you can constantly put the blame on for why you're not succeeding.
Yeah, man. I don't know. You know what? Let me read something real quick. Let me read this. This is 1 Peter 5. It said, in the same way, you who are younger, submit yourselves to your elders. All of you, clothe yourselves with humility toward one another. God opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble. God opposes people with pride that can't humble themselves to do the dirty work that will lead to your blessing.
Wow.
I'm too good to work at McDonald's. How that's gonna look, that's gonna mess up my style. I'm too good to live in an apartment with no furniture because I have this image of what I'm supposed to look like to people. And yet you see folks that have less than you that are way more humble, way more fruitful, and they're thriving. And you wonder why they're getting favor and getting blessing after blessing after blessing, because their posture in their waiting is proper. It's how you wait. Noah, God gave Noah a promise. It's going to rain. Noah didn't know when it was going to rain. He just was instructed to tell the people that it's going to rain. He had a 3-word sermon. Hey, y'all, it's going to rain. I got to build this ark. These folks thought Noah was crazy. Guess when the promise came? 120 years later. We can't even wait a month. God said, I'm going to give you 30 days. Bro, the man waited 120 years. Doop. Oh, Noah was right. It's too late now. It's too late. Y'all dying. I tried to tell y'all 120 years ago that it was going to rain. Y'all need to come get in this ark. Man, get your crazy butt out here, Noah. You a drunk. God used the drunk man. People won't even listen to somebody. If you ain't got it all put together, we ain't trying to hear it. Bro, God just sent you that person to warn you, to pour life into you. Okay, let's talk about Peter then, since y'all probably don't know about Noah. Peter, God promised that he was going to be the rock. Jesus said, you're going to be the rock of my church. You're going to be the foundation. That was before Peter denied him. And Peter was ready to give up. 3 years later. Bro, that ain't even 120 years. It was 3 years after that where Peter finally saw, like, oh, now I see why Jesus. Bro, what are we doing, yo? We can't even be faithful with the Walmart job. And we talking about something, we want to be an entrepreneur. But you can't even stack your Walmart money. How I'm going to bless you with a real estate business or production business when you can't even be faithful with Walmart money? Man, we running over time, man.
No, but you ain't even mentioned the fact that sometimes we get impatient with waiting on God and we decide to go walk in disobedience and do things our own way.
God taking too long, bro. I got to go get it. Like, go get your butt behind bars, man.
Yep.
Well, I don't know, man. I just couldn't. Yeah, you could. You could have waited, bro. And in your impatience, it's funny because even when you get impatient and you try to get ahead of God, he still sends something to try to catch you, to get your attention. And you still dismiss it and be like, no, I have to do it this way. I got to hurry up. No, you don't, bro. Sit your butt down and wait. And when I say sit down, I'm not saying sit down and do nothing. It's like, no, keep going to that job where you got a horrible boss, but have the right attitude. Bring a right spirit in there. Like, change the energy. They don't have to like you. I'm in that situation. I'm going to be consistent, showing up every day, being the man that I am. Y'all don't have to like me. I got the favor of God behind me.
Yeah.
Regardless of how it looks. Like, I don't need man's approval.
Yeah.
I don't need that for me to be like, oh, let me see what so-and-so thinks of me. How many, bro.
Man, I was looking at Moses. What kept Moses from going to the promised land was when God told him to speak to the rock and water will come out. He hits the rock, water comes out. So it's the exact same thing that he would have got if he would have been obedient. The water still comes out, but he misses out on the promise. That's where a lot of us are. A lot of us, we get so impatient that we do things our own way.
That's
and
good,
we get
man.
the momentary thing that we wanted, but in the long run, we played
Oh,
ourselves.
yeah, it's a temporary fix. Instead of getting a new tire, you rather just patch it up and wonder why you keep having to get a.
Yeah.
Bro, you should just got the tire. Just go buy the new tire. Like, no, I ain't got time. I gotta keep putting air in my tire every morning. You done wasted 2 weeks being late to work. Now you about to get fired when you could have got a tire.
Facts.
But that's real, bro. Like this the practical stuff people ain't thinking about. Why they not seeing his blessings? Why they not seeing his hand in their life? Those are the things that's frustrating sometimes because I'm convicted by it. It happened to me. Like I tried to get ahead of God because I felt like I could do better. And it's funny because even though you're doing something and it feels good in the moment, on the back end is when like you feel like, dang, I should have just waited. Because I'm only seeing what I could have had. I just got like a little piece of it. I got what I can do on my own strength because I leaned on my own understanding instead of seeking his wisdom and waiting on his wisdom, his direction.
Yep.
Bro, it's
like getting a payday loan. It sure feel good at that moment,
hey,
but
bro, that thing set you back, boy. That thing set you back quick.
yeah. So we're gonna wrap it up.
We good? Hey, man, but yeah, it's all about waiting and how we wait. And I just hope that, with this conversation, man, that everybody listening or watching, you guys can start to correct your posture, man, and so you can see the real blessing. It's the Even If Podcast.